The installation that I created for Transamerican gender, identity, and appearance today is an ofrenda inspired by the Dia de los Muertos tradition. We create these altars in memory of the people that have passed. In this occasion, I have subverted that idea and created an altar for the living. I celebrate the queer, the transgender, the immigrant, the disenfranchised, the children. My name is David Zamora Casas. I'm an artist living here in San Antonio, Texas, creating artwork since 1985 under the name Nuclear Meltdown. I create work about the social justice movement. I'm with my African American brothers, with my feminist sisters. I believe that you can't hold your brother down while you're in the light, and I strive to be that light. The altar also provides an opportunity for us to spoof politicians, to talk about global plunder, climate grief, and homophobia and heterosexism, with traditional elements like the flowers. The orange in the Mexican Dia de los Muertos represents that the spirits are coming to the altar. The purple in the tradition means solemnity of death. The white represents purity. Some of the non-traditional flowers that I have included in the altar are pansies and anthuriums and birds of paradise. These are not traditional flowers, yet for me they symbolize the true nature of our sexual being. For this altar, I created 2 large-scale paintings. I manipulated photos. I incorporated music created with a group called Mentalo and the Fixer. And I subverted the idea of the significance of these elements. Hopefully, you will take something from the altar that only you have in your heart, because it's what you invest when you look at a piece of artwork. What you have in your heart is the investment that you take from that artwork. When we speak of gender, we speak of the characteristics that define masculinity and femininity. Well, those were the antiquated terms. I think that gender is more of a state of spirit, a state of soul, a state of an organic being within us. So gender is very complicated, and I believe that this exhibit, Transamerica, opens up that possibility for dialogue. I believe that identity is a coming to be of a self-awareness. So identity is who you are and what you show of your identity to people. There's also the part of your identity that you hold within and share it only with special few. Art is a very powerful tool, and I use it through performance, through sculpture, through spoken word, through paintings, and through political activism. I believe that artists have an obligation to community to do things and say things when most people will not. I found my artistic voice through the politics of ethnicity. I found my Chicano voice, and I found that there were similarities with being Chicano and being queer. As a young artist, I read in a book that the most powerful image that a Mexican artist could create was the calavera, the skeleton. The calavera represents life after death and is representational of a metamorphosis of our spirit. My work has always been rooted in cultural tradition, but also with a freer attitude about what really works, because love has no gender, love has no ethnicity. So through my artwork, I tried to create a dialogue that speaks to the true self-awareness. My work and the work in Transamerican is a resilient cry to say we're not gonna stop being human. You can't dehumanize us. I would hope that the audience that comes to the McNay would leave with a better understanding of the other. My work has always been rooted in love, and it is about expanding the definition of what love is and who can love, and to claim that right to love. The organizers of this exhibit wanted to make sure that everyone who came to the exhibit saw a reflection of them in the exhibit. I wanted to create that same feeling of inclusion with my altar, dedicated to the living and the dead. Another thing that I would like for the audience to take away is to inform yourself. I know that we have an obligation to speak about who we are, to speak about our identities, but the other side of that is we have to do the research as well.